Hey guys, Leah Michelle, Resistance Chicks, coming at you March 13th, 2017. We want to come back to the silencing and arresting of Turkish journalism in Turkey. It's this Erdogan guy, president, has
81 journalists in 1 year, the most ever jailed. He survived a coup in July, sort of jailing everybody. Now, I do want to compare this to journalism in the West because we're silenced by covert means. Mm-hmm. Google silences us now. YouTube silences us now.
Oh, absolutely.
This is incredibly overt. So it's just two different methods.
Right.
One keeps you in a prison, locked in a real prison, and one keeps you in a prison in kind of a box where you think that you're free. Right. But this is definitely just out of this world. I mean, we really need
This is going to blow your mind, I think.
Yeah. Bring attention to this. Don't be silent, shout. Free press is a right.
In 2016, Turkey's government set a shameful record. The most journalists ever imprisoned by a nation in 1 year, with at least 81 reporters, editors, and producers in jail.
This is a crackdown unlike any before. This is the crackdown that would leave no actual working, surviving media left afterwards.
What happens? You lose all freedom.
On the night of July 15th, a shocking attempt to oust President Recep Tayyip Erdogan was underway. By morning, it was clear that the attempted coup had failed. The government reasserted its control. Thousands of arrests were made in Turkey's military and civil sectors before the government turned its eye to the news media.
The government used this coup attempt as an excuse to eliminate all opposition on many fronts.
In the first couple of weeks after the coup attempt alone, we saw at least 100 media outlets shut down.
The arrests and repression of reporters have become routine since the July coup attempt. But journalists' troubles in Turkey began well before that. In March, Turkey's largest circulation newspaper was raided and seized by the government.
That was the moment that the government showed they have no scruples about entering a media outlet, taking it in a hostile manner, and then even arresting some of the top editors of that newspaper.
The government.
I want to pause this right here, and I know you guys are enthralled, and I hate to do this, but this is what the American mainstream media is saying that Trump is doing, that he's going to do, that this is his goal. They're crying wolf. It's so insane. This is a real threat. This is really happening. This is what happens. The freedom of the press is a very, very important thing, okay?
Well, our First Amendment rights, it's so funny. People don't recognize that the First Amendment rights were written in there primarily so that you could write against the government.
Exactly.
That is why we have the First Amendment.
And so what the mainstream media is saying is by Donald Trump, going out to the people via his own videos and Twitter and things like that, they're calling that this.
Right.
And it is not at all the same. And so I wanted to just pause right here and make that very clear.
Right.
That they are crying wolf, and what it does is it nullifies what's really happening in places like Turkey and says that's not that big of a deal. We have Donald Trump tweeting to the people.
Right.
Practically, taking over our mainstream media outlet because he tweets straight to the people.
It's the same thing as the feminist women marching for feminist rights in the West.
It's insanity. So I want to get back to this. I am sorry I interrupted that, but it was on my mind.
Any critical media existing in the country. What the government wants is an obedient media.
And before that, in 2015, a bitter attack on press freedom by the government landed respected columnist and editor Can Dündar in prison after his newspaper, Cumhuriyet, published video appearing to show the Turkish military secretly moving arms across the Syrian border.
It angered Erdogan personally. Erdogan went on national television and lashed out against Can Dündar. and promised to never let him go.
Bu haberi özel haber olarak
The person who
yapan kişi de
published this
öyle zannediyorum
exclusive
ki
story
bunun bedelini
will
alır.
pay a heavy price.
Dündar, who survived an assassination attempt in May 2016, eventually escaped the country and received CPJ's International Press Freedom Award for his reporting.
The case of Can Dündar is emblematic of what has been happening to journalists and media outlets that have the audacity to explore sensitive subjects.
A free democratic Turkey is being destroyed before the world's very eyes.
Sadly, the future looks bleak for Turkish journalism.
There isn't much of a press left in Turkey. The mood on the ground is that anybody can be arrested at any given time. Millions of people in Turkey are feeling like hostages in their own country.
So if we have any viewers that are in Turkey, we would love your opinion on this, your comments, send us messages, or just leave them in the comment, because the only way that we're really going to be able to get the real feel for this is if we hear from you guys.
And I'm just we're gonna play one more segment in our kind of our in-depth Turkey episodes. And I want you guys to know that Turkey actually was kind of a capital for Christianity, Constantinople, and the Christians were actually pushed out. And I'm gonna kind of just go out on a limb and say where there's Christianity, good Christianity, there's usually freedom to speak.
Absolutely.
And of course, you know, a lot of people say, what about the Crusades and things like that? But if you recognize that Muslims were actually advancing kind of west, and if it wasn't for the Crusades, your wonderful England and Germany and
They would have been
Italy
Muslim 100% a long time
would
ago.
all have been Muslim.
So yeah, there's something to be said for doing your research and their history and understanding just exactly what happened. We're not pro everything that happened during the Crusades, but the point is that real Christianity, I think, is what you mean. Real Christianity promotes freedom.
And there's always the fight. There's always the fight among real Christians to be like freedom, liberty, rights, treat each other right, because those are basic Christian principles.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
we have a lot of our atheists that say, listen, according to Christian principles, that's how I live. I'm just not a
love
Christian.
your neighbor. You know, in Christianity, that's why when people tell you women and men are equal, whereas men take care of women, and it's a really great balance under Christianity.
Right.
And you can have all kinds of different kinds of Christians. But anyways,
So that wraps up the press, or do you want to go right into it right
wraps
now?
up the journalism. So we're going to go into we're going to take a gander into Smyrna and how Christians were ousted out and killed. And
But I mean, are we going to do that right now?
right now?
Okay, let's go.
No. I mean, like in the next segment.
Okay, that's what I was
Now, but in a minute now.
The lack of communication there. All right, you guys, this is Lee Michelle signing off for Resistance Chicks, where it is not a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring the bell for notifications so you get an email every time we put out a new video, and find us on Facebook and Twitter. I want to reiterate, because a lot of you guys are having trouble finding both of our channels. Mass Faith 3 is spelled M-A-S. Those are my initials. Faith, F-A-I-T-H, and then directly behind that, the number 3. Faith is Leah's middle name, Mass Faith 3, where we came up with the name for that. We did Resistance Chicks well after we had that channel. If you find Resistance Chicks on Twitter, it's Resistance Chicks without the K. The K was taken. So there you go.
No, there's too many letters to
Oh,
get
okay, I knew it was something. We couldn't have the K, so
But
there
you
you go.
can. It's under Resistance Chicks too. There's like 2 names.
And we're gonna try to put these links and stuff in the description from now on, because we had a lot of you guys asking about that in the blog and everything. So there you go.
I was cold all alone.